Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Swen and this is Beyond Annual Leave, where we turn limited leave into limitless fun. I've recently returned from an amazing 16-night trip to Zimbabwe, and it was honestly one of the most memorable trips we've ever taken. I traveled with a group of family and friends, and we did everything from city life to wildlife, from waterfalls to fine dining. We did it all. So sit back, relax, and let me take you through our amazing highlights. I'm Swen, and this is Beyond Annual Leave, where we show you how to turn your limited annual leave days into limitless adventures. I've traveled to more than 30 countries and spent every day of my annual leave abroad, and want to show you how to do the same. No resignation required. The majority of our trip, we based ourselves in an amazing 5-bedroom Airbnb in Harare. It was in the most quiet, idyllic neighborhood. However, we were only 10 to 15 minutes away from bars, restaurants, and downtown Harare. The Airbnb was in a really peaceful neighborhood, and we woke up every morning to monkeys jumping on our roof. One of our first stops in Harare was Birds at 30. Now this is a bird sanctuary in Harare. It has dozens of species of wildlife, including parrots, flamingos, and exotic birds. It's a perfect day out for the family, and I think the kids would especially enjoy. So if you are in Harare, this is an activity that I would highly recommend. When we visited, they were having the Christmas market, so there were dozens of providers selling everything from locally made crafts to foods and drink vendors. Now, if you're ever looking for the perfect brunch spot in Harare, we cannot recommend Queen of Hearts enough. It's this amazing garden-style brunch spot, outdoor themed. We visited when they were having their Christmas market, so they had lots of bars set up. They had a band that was playing live music. We ate at one of the Portuguese peri-peri type stand. We had a cheese dog. We tried every single cocktail that they had on offer, and it was amazing. The crowd was energetic. The vibes was amazing. Cannot wait to visit Zimbabwe just to visit this spot again. Sticking to the theme of food in Harare, if you are Jamaican or if you enjoy Jamaican food or would like to try Jamaican food, then I cannot recommend Sorrel's restaurant enough. We visited Sorrel's on 3 occasions during this trip. We met with the owner, we spoke to the chef, we had an amazing time. On one of the nights that we visited, they were having a karaoke. And then we had another quieter night. We unfortunately missed their New Year's Eve event because we had other plans. But the food here was amazing. The drinks were perfect. The staff at the restaurant were so pleasant and welcoming. And it's another spot that we highly recommend. Now, one of my reasons for wanting to visit Zimbabwe was because of the wildlife. We unfortunately visited during the end of the rainy season, so there was quite a bit of rain, but we were fortunate enough to visit the Mukavisi Woodlands, which is a 300-acre woodlands protected park. We were able to witness the zebras, impalas, we saw giraffes, we saw monkeys, all in their natural habitat. I think we also saw crocodiles or alligators, one of them. But this woodland was beautiful. Unfortunately, it started raining when we visited, so we weren't able to explore the full woodlands, but there is a walking trail, there's a biking trail, I believe there is some water feature at some point during the park. We were met with torrential rain, so that unfortunately ruined this experience for us, but we did still enjoy the bits that we saw. Another highly recommended activity in Zimbabwe is visiting the National Heroes Acre. Now it's this beautiful monument on the top of a hill that towers over Harare. There's a museum on site that tells the story of the amazing heroes of Zimbabwe who have fought and died to make the country what it is. It's a beautiful, peaceful place to learn a bit about the country's history and those that contributed towards it. After an amazing 10 to 12 days in Harare, we jumped on a 1-hour flight over to Victoria Falls. We flew with FastJet. We had the most amazing service. They even served us snacks on this 1-hour flight. The air hostesses were amazing. The flight was comfortable. Ryanair could never. Now, on arrival to Victoria Falls, we were greeted by members of the Zimbabwean Tourism Board. They were greeting those who were exiting the jet. They gave us free waters and drinks. They gifted my mom this beautiful traditional fabric, and they were just there welcoming everyone that were visiting the town. Once we exited the airport, we were greeted by these amazing traditional dancers who gave us a performance and allowed me to be a part of that performance, something that my auntie really enjoyed. We then hopped into a taxi that got us from the airport to our hotel. Now, if you're flying into Victoria Falls, I would recommend getting a taxi from the airport. From the quotes that we received, it was much cheaper getting the taxis directly from the airport than booking it with the hotels. But we stayed at the amazing Shearwater Explorer Village. We had 5 rooms booked out. I stayed in the twin room. It was just a beautiful, beautiful hotel. The staff were amazing, the food were amazing, the drinks were 10 out of 10. It's about a 10-minute walk from the center of Victoria Falls, so everything that we needed was 10 minutes away. Now, if you want to see more of this amazing hotel, click the link here and you can watch my video covering a full walkthrough of Shearwater Explorer Village. So whilst at the Explorers Village, we met with the activities coordinator and we booked 2 excursions. Now, the first one was Simonye Theatre. The theatre is located about 100 meters away from the hotel. It's a 2-minute walk. However, we had a van that came by to collect us and drove us all 10 seconds to the theatre. We were greeted on arrival, taken into the theatre. They had performers outside welcoming us. We absolutely loved this show. It is Broadway, West End quality. We weren't able to record the show, but towards the end, we were able to get a short clip that they allowed us to record. So I hope you enjoy this. Now, for the elephant walk, we were collected from our hotel quite early in the morning and transported about 20 or 30 minutes to the wildlife park. We met with the company Elephant Crew and they gave us an amazing talk through about experiencing life through the eyes of an elephant. They spoke to us about how elephants communicate, how they think, how they feel, and gave us just a beautiful demonstration of what we will be doing on the day. Following that, we went out and met with the elephants. Our elephant was Minor. He, we believe, was 29 years old. We fed Minor for a bit, and then we traveled further into the wildlife park where we were walking with him, us learning a bit more about what they do at Elephant Crew and how they came to doing this work. Following that, we then went to an amazing platform that they had in the center of the park. They fed us scones and cold drinks, and we just were able to observe the elephants bathing and drinking from their water hole. Now you can see more of how this activity went by clicking this vlog. Now to the main activity. If you're visiting Victoria Falls, you're probably here to see the waterfalls. Now Victoria Falls is the tallest waterfall in the world, and it is as beautiful as Google, as YouTube, as social media says it is. We paid an enormous fee of $50 to enter this waterfall, but it was worth every cent. The trail to the water park is wheelchair accessible, so everyone is able to enjoy the view of these amazing falls. We had 9 lookout falls that we enjoyed, and I believe number 8 or number 9 was my favorite. But if you watch the previous vlog, then you'll be able to see a bit more of that. You absolutely cannot visit Victoria Falls without visiting the waterfall. Our next activity was visiting the Lookout Cafe. Now this amazingly beautiful cafe is cliffside overlooking the river that flows from Victoria Falls. When you're at the waterfall, you do see some aspects of the river, but the view from Lookout Cafe allows you to fully enjoy the beauty that is Victoria Falls. You're able to also witness a few crazy people bungee jumping and zip lining across the falls. The food was amazing. The atmosphere and drinks was 10 out of 10, and it's a spot that we would highly recommend if you do want to enjoy the beauty of this area. Now, if you're in Zimbabwe, you absolutely have to do a game drive. We decided to do this game drive at the Zambezi National Park. We were picked up quite early in the morning by our guide, who took us on one of those open air safari type trucks. We drove into Zambezi National Park, and when you're doing a game drive, you're not guaranteed to see many animals or any animals at all because you are in the wild. And we were quite fortunate in that we saw zebras, we saw giraffes, hyenas, we saw impalas, we saw an elephant and a few other wild animals. I believe there was also a buffalo. If you are in Victoria Falls, it is an activity that's highly recommended. However, as we said, you can't guarantee what animals you will be seeing once you're there. Now, the perfect ending to our Victoria Falls trip was the Pure Africa dinner cruise. Now, we booked this cruise on Christmas Day. It included a 3-course meal and was inclusive of drinks and entertainment. The staff were so beautiful and hospitable. The food was absolutely amazing, and they serenaded us with songs, which was the perfect ending to the trip. We were able to cross over into the Zambia border, and we also saw lots of hippos bathing in the wild. Cannot recommend this trip enough. Now, if like me, you've never considered Zimbabwe to be a holiday destination, may I urge you to reconsider. This country is honestly in my top 5 visited. The country is so beautiful. The people were so warm and hospitable. The food was amazing. It was extremely affordable. The cocktails, the food, the vibes, the culture, everything was a 10 out of 10. It's a country that hasn't yet been spoiled by tourism, so you're able to enjoy a lot of the natural elements of the country and you still get a feel of the culture. Now, Victoria Falls is a lot more popular than Harare, so depending on the time of year that you visit, it may be a bit more crowded. However, it's still an unspoiled country. It still maintains so much of its culture and its natural elements. If you have visited Zimbabwe, let me know in the comment box what your experience was, and if you do plan to visit Zimbabwe, ask us any questions and we'll be more than happy to give you our suggestions. Thank you for watching. See you next time.